Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for vlog number 6. This is Marianne, mental health social worker and certified hypnotist, coming to you from my mental health counselling and hypnotherapy practice. In today's vlog, I'm wanting to talk about sleep and why it is important for optimum health and well-being to get adequate sleep. I'll also explore what happens when we don't get enough sleep, and I will go on to talk about the link between anxiety and poor sleep. And lastly, I'll talk about sleep hygiene and some strategies to help you get better sleep. So why is sleep so important? Well, as His Holiness the Dalai Lama says, sleep is the best meditation. So sleep really is natural medicine for the body and for the mind. It's really important that we get adequate sleep, because when we are sleeping, it's when the body heals and recovers. It's when the body regenerates cells. It's also when we consolidate learning and memories, and getting adequate sleep improves our memory and our concentration, and it also improves our immunity. And we just have a better mood, and our mental health is better when we're getting adequate sleep. So how much sleep is enough sleep? Well, research tells us that for an adult, between 7 and 9 hours is enough, with 8 being the average. Research also says that if you're getting 6 hours or less per night, that you are going into a sleep deficit, which means you're not getting enough sleep. So what happens when we don't get enough sleep? Our immunity decreases, making us more susceptible to illnesses. It contributes to higher rates of obesity, incidences of diabetes and cancer. And when we don't get enough sleep, we're at risk of having high blood pressure. When we're not getting adequate sleep, we're more emotional, our concentration and our memory are affected. Obviously, not enough sleep causes fatigue and lack of motivation, and that can obviously cause a decrease in productivity in the workplace and in the school environment. And lack of sleep can also affect our relationships and obviously our mental health. So drawing your attention now to the link between anxiety and poor sleep. If you recall, back in vlog number 2, I talked about the two stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, and how they impact on our anxiety and add to our anxiety symptoms. So today I'm wanting to again talk about cortisol and the effect that cortisol levels can have on our ability to get quality sleep. So cortisol is a stress hormone, and we do need a little bit of cortisol. Normal levels of cortisol will keep us moving through the day, keep us on task and help us get the job done. But as the day progresses, naturally our cortisol should be dropping, and we should be getting into a calm state and getting ready for sleep. So for someone who is under a lot of stress or who is anxious, their cortisol levels generally do not drop, or do not drop as much as they need them to. This can obviously impact on their sleep, their ability to get to sleep, their ability to get quality sleep, and their ability to stay asleep. Then people who have anxiety, who are obviously producing high levels of cortisol, they get into a bit of a loop, because when we don't get enough sleep, we produce higher levels of cortisol. So you end up getting into a bit of a cycle where you are anxious and you can't sleep, and then because you're not getting enough sleep, your cortisol levels are higher, so you become more anxious. So what can we do about this? Sleep hygiene is probably the most important way to get our sleep back on track. And sleep hygiene is really just a fancy term for practices and habits that we can do at bedtime to get ourselves into a calm state to sleep. So really that's the key, getting into a calm state of mind, and just being in a calm environment to get yourself to sleep. So it's really important that during the day you get plenty of light and you minimize your light exposure after sunset. So getting plenty of light during the day is really important because the light helps you produce more of the sleep hormone melatonin, which helps us get to sleep. Exercise is really important, 20 minutes a day, preferably outdoors. Obviously that will tire you out, and that's really important as part of your sleep hygiene too. Have your bedroom at a comfortable temperature. The optimal room temperature for sleep, they say, is 20 degrees or less. And developing sleep rituals, trying to get yourself to bed at the same time every day. You might have a warm bath or a shower before bed. You might have a warm drink such as a herbal tea or a warm milk. You might read something. You might listen to some calming music, or you might have some meditation apps that you can listen to before you go to sleep. Employing rituals, it's really important because it signals to your mind that it is time for sleep, and you really do then get into that habit of doing all these activities before bed, and then your body and your mind know that it's sleep time. Also avoiding stimulants such as alcohol, caffeine and nicotine is really important for up to 6 hours before going to bed. Obviously, particularly caffeine and nicotine will increase your cortisol levels, so that they will impact on your sleep as well. Limiting electronic use is really important as well. The newest iPhones have a yellow light on their screen, so if you do need to use your phone at night, I would suggest putting that yellow light on, because the white light again can interrupt your melatonin production, and melatonin is a really important hormone as it assists us to get to sleep. So there's some strategies and a bit of an explanation on the link between anxiety and poor sleep. Please feel free to comment. I would love to hear your sleep strategies and what helps you get to sleep. And I hope you all have a good sleep tonight.